Hi, welcome to a new section of this course. Work smarter, not harder. Efficient and elegant R code. In this section we'll learn to exploit vectorized operations and process entire rows or columns using the apply function. Next we'll apply a function to all elements of a collection with lapply and sapply. We'll also see how we can apply functions to subsets of a vector and use the split apply combine strategy with plier. Finally, we'll slice, dice and combine data with data tables. Now we move on to the first video of this section that deals with exploiting vectorized operations. In this video we'll operate on all elements of vectors and use vectorized operations. Then we'll apply an arithmetic operation. Some R functions can operate on vectors as a whole. The function can either be a built-in R function or a custom function. In your own code, before you resort to a loop to process all elements of a vector, see whether you can exploit an existing vectorized function. If you've not already downloaded the files for this video, do it now and ensure that the auto-mpg.csv file is in your R working directory. So, to exploit vectorized operations, follow these steps, which we're going to perform now. First of all, operate on all elements of vectors without explicit iteration, that is, vectorized operations. Let's write the commands at the console. First name, last name, and then we concatenate the names with the paste function. Let's see for different sized vectors. Define a new last name, Dalton. And now let's use it with paste function to join with the first names. By operating on entire vectors at a time, vectorized operations eliminate the need for explicit loops. R processes loops inefficiently because it interprets these statements in a loop over and over again. Thus, loops with much iteration tend to perform poorly. Vectorized operations help us get around this bottleneck, while at the same time making our code compact and more elegant. Several built-in functions are vectorized, and step 1 illustrates this with the paste function that concatenates strings. The later part of step 1 shows that if the vectors have unequal length, then the shorter vector recycles the list of vectors as needed. The new .last.name vector of size 1 repeats itself to match the size of the first .name vector. Hence the last name, Dalton, is pasted to each element of first name. Next, we used vectorized operations within our own functions. So here we use the toLower function along with the paste function. Vector operations work for built-in functions, custom functions and arithmetic operations. Here we used custom function to generate usernames using the two vectors, that is, first name and last name. Now let's apply an arithmetic operation implicitly on all elements of a vector. Here we use the CSV method. Vector operations work even when we combine vectors and scalars in arithmetic operations. A new variable is created in the auto data frame to represent fuel efficiency in kilometers per gallon, or kmpg, using a simple formula combining a vector with a scalar. You may note that R functions such as sum, min, max, range and prod combine their arguments into vectors. Let's take an example for this and use the sum function. On the contrary, beware of functions such as mean and median that do not combine arguments into vectors and yield misleading results. Let's try mean first. We know that the mean of numbers 1 to 5 cannot be 1, which we got here. Now again use the mean, but this time with C for combining. Here's the correct output, that is 3. In this video we dived deep into using vectorized operations.